Welcome to FPL Cheat Sheet Briefing, the podcast that gives you a data-driven edge in the Fantasy Premier League.
And we are back again, ready for Gameweek 10. Today, it's our usual deep dive mission, a full analytical breakdown of the data.
That's right. We're looking at the wildcard team, the free hit squad, and of course, those crucial differentials.
Exactly. But you know the drill. Before we jump into Gameweek 10, we need that essential first step, the retrospective. Gameweek 9, how did our predictions stack up against the actual points?
Yeah, let's get into those lessons because honestly, Game Week 9 felt pretty frustrating for a lot of managers, myself included. That wildcard team, the projection was over 60 expected points.
50.73, yeah.
And it landed on 47, just 1 point over the average of 46. We need to unpack why that projection fell short.
Well, I think the pattern's pretty clear when you look at the numbers. The engine, it absolutely nailed those mid-price gems. Wimmo. Wow.
15 points. He was the winner, wasn't he?
Totally smashed his 5.48 expected points. And Gabriel, too, 9 points against 5.23 expected solid from the Arsenal defense. Even Rofes in goal, 4 points. Pretty much hit his 4.11 mark.
Okay, so the structure worked for the value picks.
Exactly.
But, and it's a big but, the premium men really let us down, didn't it? Captain Saka, only 3 points against 6.36 expected.
Yeah.
And Vice Captain Haaland, even worse, just 2 points against 5.50 expected. That's really where the score tanked.
It really did. And maybe that suggests, the engine might be slightly over-indexing on these big names in fixtures that turn out tougher than they look on paper. That feels like the key learning point for Game Week 10.
Agreed. So what about the free hit team then? How did that one fare?
Well, the free hit did do better. Scored 57 points, which is, 10 points up on the wild card.
Okay, respectable.
But still missed its projection, which was quite high at 65.33 expected points. Again, Mbemo and Gabriel were the consistent performers. Calafiori, another Arsenal defender, was a solid pick too, 6 points against 5.48 expected.
And the captaincy, Saka again?
Saka underperformed again, yeah. But the vice captain, Salah, he actually delivered, hit his 6 expected points, almost exactly the projection was 6.20. So reliability there.
Right, okay. And finally, the differentials wildcard. This is always the high-risk, high-reward play.
And it actually finished strongest of the three, landed on 52 points, beating the average and the regular wild card.
Nice. So where did the points come from?
Differential hits, basically. Eze was great, 11 points in that Arsenal shirt, way above his 5.32 projection.
No call.
But, and this is the important caveat, the risk of generating these teams early really showed. We had 3 players, Zinchenko, Isak, Wood, who were expected to start.
And got 0 points.
Exactly. Didn't play. That's the potential pain point with picking differentials early in the week.
It really is. And that leads us perfectly into Game Week 10, doesn't it? What lessons are we applying, especially around, captaining premiums and managing that risk?
Excellent question. Let's shift focus now. Game Week 10 is here.
Okay, kicking off with the Game Week 10 wildcard team analysis. So this squad comes in at 99.9 millions of budget. The starting 11 is projected at 61.34 expected points.
And if you're thinking bench boost down the line, the total squad jumps to 73.76 expected points. Worth keeping in mind.
Now, what's really interesting here, especially after our chat about Game Week 9, the engine is doubling down on Saka as captain. 7.3 expected points against Burnley away.
Just edging out Salah, who's vice captain with 7 expected points against Villa at home. It's tight.
It is tight. But after he just underperformed as captain, why trust him again over Salah? What's the data saying about that Burnley fixture? Haaland's not even in the picture here either.
Oh, Haaland's correct. Yeah. Look, the engine sees a very high probability for Arsenal clean sheet potential, plus attacking returns against a Burnley side that, tends to sit deep and can make errors. So it suggests Saka has a higher ceiling in this specific match. That's basically a confidence play on the fixture strength, believing those underlying numbers will finally convert this time. High risk, potentially high reward, as you said.
I see the logic, yeah. Looking at the structure, it shifted back a bit. 3 defenders and quite an aggressive 3-man attack.
It is. The Arsenal defense is still there. Gabriel and Calafiori, strong core, plus Gvardiol from City and Lacroix from Crystal Palace.
And Roofs is still the keeper.
Roofs is the starting keeper, yeah.
Yeah.
4.6 millions playing Everton. The engine expects a low-scoring game there. Petrovic is the backup on the bench.
Right, but the attack, that front 3 is different.
It is a pure differential punt, isn't it? You've got Beto from Everton, Raul from Fulham, they're playing Wolves, and Mateta from Crystal Palace. We actually have 3 Palace players in the squad. Lacroix, Sarr in midfield, and Mateta up top.
Wow, a Palace triple up. That forward line feels like it could either explode or completely flop. What's the confidence based on?
It's really about two things. Fixture convergence. These players have decent individual matchups and, crucially, enabling the midfield.
Funding Salah and Saka.
Exactly. And Mbemo, too. Yeah. They are the highest projected low-cost strikers for this specific game week, allowing the budget for that premium midfield trio. That's where the engine room of the points is projected to be.
Makes sense. Okay, let's move on to the free hit team for game week 10. Max budget here, 100.0 millions. And the highest ceiling, too, projecting 63.29 expected points for the starting 11.
Yeah. Highest potential this week. And the free hit, well, it echoes the wildcard's commitment to those core players. Salah's in, preferred over Haaland again, and he's battling Saka for the captaincy, just like the wildcard.
So same captaincy debate. Saka captain, Salah vice.
Correct. And that Arsenal core, Gabriel, Calafiori, Saka, still absolutely vital in this setup too.
But the free hit gives you that flexibility, right? So what else is different? Looks like more Liverpool attackers.
That's right. We see Gakpo and Ekitike included here, both expected to get decent points against Aston Villa. But, and this is where we have to hammer home that lesson from Game Week 9.
Check the expected start percentages.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially for attackers like these who might not be nailed on. Check right up to the deadline. Don't get caught out.
Good reminder. What about the defense on the free hit?
It's spread out a bit more. You've still got the Arsenal guys, but also Botman from Newcastle alongside the City duo of Gvardiol and O'Reilly. So good coverage across strong teams. Dubravka and Rofs are the goalkeepers. It's built purely for maximum points this week.
Okay, solid. Now, for the team designed for chasing ranks, maybe catching rivals in mini leagues, the Differentials Wildcard, maximum 15% total selected by bio or TSB.
Yep, and that constraint immediately impacts things. Lower budget, 91.4 millions, and a lower starting projection, 57.43 expected points. That reflects the inherent risk you take going differential.
And the biggest impact of that 15% cap is?
Sal's out. His ownership is just too high now to qualify for this specific build.
Right, so he can't be your captain, can't even be in the team. That forces a totally different captaincy strategy.
It really does. And the engine pivots hard towards less owned Arsenal assets. Eze, who we liked last week, gets the armband. He's at 13.7% TSB.
Okay.
And the vice captain is Trossard, tiny ownership, 0.4% TSB.
Wow, proper differential.
Exactly. And Saliba at 12.7% completes that differential Arsenal stack. This is how you try and get that aggressive, unique edge if you're trailing. High risk, potential high reward.
Makes sense. What about the attack?
We see Raul from Fulham. Again, he pops up in a few of these. He's paired with Igor Jesus from Nottingham Forest this time. But here's a really clever bit of planning the engine factored in.
Go on. Let's talk Watkins. I see him in the squad list, but on the bench.
Precisely. Watkins, 8.5 million, decent price, only 6.9% TSP, so he qualifies. He's in the squad. But benched for Game Week 10 because they played Liverpool, tough fixture.
Okay. So why have him at all this week?
Forward planning. The data shows an incredibly strong fixture run for him immediately after this game week. Bournemouth, Leeds, Wolves.
So the advice is buy him now, bench him this week, unleash him next week.
Exactly that. Keep him in the squad, ready to capitalize on that amazing run starting Game Week 11. That's smart, long-term thinking baked into the differential strategy. Pope and Roofs are the keepers here. Defense includes Munoz, Lacroix, Gvardiol, O'Reilly. Midfield has Sarr, Gakpo, the captains, and a cheap bench pick in Christie.
That kind of future-proofing, using the data that way, that's exactly the edge our listeners are looking for. Brilliant. So we've covered 3 really distinct data-driven ways to approach Game Week 10.
We have. And, that issue we keep mentioning, checking expected start times, tracking player projections right up to the deadline. It keeps coming up, doesn't it? Especially with differentials.
It absolutely does. And that brings us perfectly to something listeners keep asking about. We see the screenshots, we get the DMs. I've seen screenshots of the FPL cheat sheet team planner tool. When is it released?
The $1 million question, or maybe the 100 million question in FPL terms. Good news on this front. We hear you. We know you're keen.
So
we are very, very close to releasing a version open for everyone as beta users. Hopefully this week.
Get in. That's amazing news. Is it the Google Sheet version?
Actually, no. Our developer made a call, decided to skip the Google Sheet step entirely, and is launching it as a proper web app.
Even better, a dedicated web app. Okay, walk us through it. How does it work? And crucially, how does it help solve those last-minute deadline headaches we were just talking about?
Right. So it'll be Google Web App. That means you'll need to log in with your Google account. Quick heads up, you'll need to grant permission so the app can see your email address and basically trust FPL cheat sheet standard stuff for these kinds of tools.
Okay, makes sense. And once you're in?
Once you're in, the first version will let you fetch your current FPL team instantly. No manual input needed. Then you'll see the expected points for the coming game week, calculated specifically for your players. And you'll get immediate tips. Who the data suggests you should bench, and who looks like the best captaincy option. Again, all tailored to your specific squad.
That alone is useful. But the real magic is the transfer suggestions, I imagine.
Absolutely. This is where the power lies. The customization that generic advice just can't offer. You'll be able to generate transfer suggestions, but with loads of filtering options.
Like finding differentials.
Exactly. If you need to catch up in your mini-league, filter by ownership percentage, find those low-owned gems. Worried about players not starting, filter by expected start percentage. Only see players likely to play.
Can you filter out players or teams you don't want?
Yep. Exclude specific players or even entire teams if you don't fancy their fixtures or, just don't like them.
Huh. We all have those teams. What if I know who I want to sell, but not who to buy?
Covered. There's a button to force a player into the transfer out suggestion. So the tool focuses on finding the best replacement for that specific player.
And the opposite. If I definitely want to keep Salah, for example.
You can lock a player, meaning the tool won't suggest transferring them out. It runs all the calculations based on your exact team, your budget, your bench. It's not generic. It's personalized right down to the last £0.1 million. I've had a sneak peek, and honestly, it's already given me a couple of great options for my own team this week. Really hope it lands soon.
That sounds genuinely game-changing. Okay, to all our listeners, you heard it here. Keep a very close eye out. Make sure you're following FPL Cheat Sheet on X. Subscribe to our channels. You do not want to miss that release announcement.
Definitely not. And that just about wraps up our deep dive into Gameweek 10. Remember, follow FPL Cheat Sheet on X, subscribe on YouTube and Spotify to get all this data and analysis every week.
And thank you, as always, for tuning in for the only data-driven edge you need in Fantasy Premier League. Good luck for the game week.
Wishing all listeners a good game week, and may the FPL gods be with you.